Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about Justice League. I don't really know where this one falls for me. I have some thoughts on it that I think a lot of people share. It's directed by Zack Snyder, again, from 2017, a superhero action film starring Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne, or Batman, Gal Gadot as Diana Prince, or Wonder Woman, Ezra Miller as Barry Allen, or The Flash, Henry Cavill as Clark Kent, or Superman, Jason Momoa as Arthur Curry, or Aquaman, Ray Fisher as Victor Stone / Cyborg, Amy Adams as Lois Lane, Ciaran Hinds as Steppenwolf, and J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. It's a fairly decent cast, I must say. There's a 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. I do think that is earned. It's not nearly as bad as Batman v Superman, but it could be worse. I don't know what that kid is doing out there. With a budget of $300 million, it made $657.9 million at the box office. A lot of that has to do with a decent-sized opening weekend, and then a lot of people were like, don't waste your money. Like I said, I will say it's better than Batman v Superman. However, compared to anything else, although I kind of always forget about Suicide Squad, so it's much better than Suicide Squad as well. But it's not as good as some of the other movies like Man of Steel, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, Shazam. Psychopath cat. Alright. Another simple story here, which I think the DCEU just kind of falls back on at this point. Steppenwolf has come to Earth to claim the mother boxes from the humans, the Atlanteans, and the Amazonians. The mother waited to enact her plan until now. For some reason, I guess Superman would be the key to stopping it. It's never fully explained. Maybe the Snyder Cut will fix it. The Snyder Cut will be coming next year on HBO Max. A lot of people have been fighting for it, which is something I've noticed. The internet kind of has been getting what it wants lately. This started with the hashtag release the Snyder Cut, and they got it. And even in the Lego Star Wars community, one thing a lot of people have been pining for is a 501st Trooper Battle Pack. And they started a hashtag, and they got it. There were t-shirts and everything. I wish I had one. But they actually got a 501st Battle Pack because they wanted it. We wanted the Snyder Cut, and now we're actually getting it. That's crazy to me. To think that, studios and big businesses are out there listening to the fans during quarantine and just being like, you know what, if that's what you want, you can have it. So that's pretty cool. I guess part of the plan for Steppenwolf was to release Darkseid. Obviously, that doesn't happen. I would have actually preferred Darkseid as the villain, but we'll talk about that. So if you don't know, there were some issues behind the scenes. The director stepped down since sadly Zack Snyder's daughter passed away. What ended up happening was Joss Whedon of The Avengers, or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, who was brought on to help with the rewrites of the script, took over directing, and during post-production shot 2 months worth of extra footage that exceeded the budget. It was like, I want to say like $10,000-$15,000. I don't remember the exact number, but it was a number that exceeded the normal amount given for reshoots by a lot. So that's why the budget shot up to $300 million. By the time of reshoots, Henry Cavill had already grown a mustache for his role in Mission Impossible Fallout, which was filming at the time, and he couldn't shave. Therefore, he had to have it CGI'd out. Thus, the infamous fake upper lip that is noticeable to some people. Excuse me. It's noticeable to some people. I don't really see it. You can tell that it's CGI, but I don't think it's glaringly bad. It's bad, but it's not like blindingly bad, like this ruins the whole movie bad. If you ask me, the production feels rushed. They rushed to meet the MCU by not fleshing out each main character in its own movie. Yeah, that's an issue when you're doing rushing through origin stories for Cyborg and Flash and Aquaman. Because well, obviously everyone knows Batman's origin story, and of course we didn't technically get it yet. It's still, the idea is still there inside of Batman v Superman. We saw Man of Steel, we saw Wonder Woman. So now we've got all these three characters who have already basically been in their own film. We're throwing in three more who haven't. Don't do that. I mean, I understand things like Star Wars do that, but Star Wars is the story of Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, and Rey. They don't really... Finn, Poe, Han Solo, Leia, Obi-Wan. Well, I would love to see an Obi-Wan origin story in TV form, but I think they're just going to do Obi-Wan during the times of between episode 3 and episode 4, which is cool too. But you don't need to flesh out those characters. These are superheroes. These are superheroes with years and years of previous backstory. Unfortunately, I don't have anything non-Batman or Superman up here that I can find. I mean, I've Tales of the Green Lantern Corps Volume 3. I have Justice League of America Volume 1. Nothing solo. That's stupid. Anyway, so you need to at least talk about these characters in their own movie. Don't just quickly set it up in the second film of your franchise and then wait another year. Don't do that. That's stupid. As I said, we are getting the Snyder Cut on HBO Max in 2021. Maybe that will improve this movie. Be honest, I think its problem is the villain, and a lot of the rewrites and reshoots kind of screwed it up, so I don't think there's too much it can fix. The acting is pretty mixed. Most of our leads are good. Henry Cavill feels completely over this shit, since he is, and Ray Fisher is just okay. I don't know too much he's in. Ezra Miller, though, I gotta say, I really like Grant Gustin over on The Flash on the CW, and I really wish they had gone with him. But Ezra Miller is great, and I will give him that. He's so funny. He's hitting all the comedic beats that, while there are a lot, and there are many, it does mark a transitional point for the DCEU. So, since they brought in the director of the Avengers, now there's more jokes and more levity, and I gotta say, sometimes in those Avengers movies, there's too much joking and too much levity in serious moments. And so I can be perfectly honest with you, I don't care for it here. I don't care for it there either. Here, though, it's actually worse. They went overboard with a lot of the jokes. And unfortunately, Ezra Miller, since he is a comedian, or he's a more comedic actor, they go with him to deliver said jokes. I don't care for that. I think a lot of them were just pointless. There was one, though, I will say I enjoyed, when Wonder Woman, Batman, and Flash go to meet Commissioner Gordon on the rooftop. It cuts to Gordon, and then he's looking away and talking, and then he turns around, and it's a classic Batman and is no longer there. Wonder Woman's not there. it's just the Flash, and he's like, they really do that? I thought that was funny, and there are a few other moments in the movie that I think are funny, but yeah, I mean, luckily they do balance all of that out in later films, specifically Shazam. But right as of Justice League, the jokes are kind of off, and I think the Snyder Cut's going to be darker than we really want, but that's just me. Who knows, maybe it'll be a little, maybe they'll fix the jokes and keep some of them that Joss Whedon had put in there. Steppenwolf is a very dumb character, and God, is he atrocious to look at. It's awful. It's like looking at, I don't know, like someone threw up on the screen. I don't care for his design, and I'm glad they didn't put it on either side of the film's cover. I really wish they had gone with Darkseid, but I don't 100% think they would have done him justice either. Darkseid is one of the best DC villains, and yeah, him and Thanos are pretty much the same thing, and DC's probably trying to do something different. Screw that. You have a villain like Darkseid, use them. Either that or go with, what's his name, Parallax. And not the brown puffy cloud from Green Lantern, go with the actual look of Parallax. I'm going to give this I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. From an action standpoint, I enjoy it. I will say that it is action-packed, and most of the fight scenes look good. I think a few with the Flash kind of look goofy, but they'll work. I think once we get a Flash movie, they'll have fixed it a little bit. But rushing through 3 origin stories or setting up future movies like The Flash, Aquaman, and Cyborg, which we are no longer getting, and then setting up sequels to other characters like Wonder Woman, Batman, which the actor changed, and Superman, which isn't even slated to happen anymore, isn't how you get a story across. Especially, they should have waited until all of these actors were locked into contracts and had movies to establish their characters. That's how they should have done it. Yes, it's the MCU approach, but I think if it works there, you should just use it and make it work here. That's how this works. You're trying to set up a cinematic universe with superheroes, then you need to flesh out those heroes first. You cannot, Cyborg doesn't necessarily need his own movie, but Flash and Aquaman, they should have had those movies out first. To me, Cyborg's kind of like the Black Widow and Hawkeye of the DCEU, where he's just kind of there to show some moral support. So they do his origin story sort of justice. If you haven't read Justice League Volume 1 Origins, I highly recommend that. It's the New 52. I get vibes of that from this. I also get vibes of, it's way on that bottom shelf now, an animated movie based off that comic called Justice League War. Except in that, the villain is Darkseid and not Steppenwolf. There's also, I believe there's some similarities to New Gods of #1 from like 1970 or 1980. He does reference being one of the New Gods, which I think is an interesting standpoint and a good Easter egg, but they'll never do anything with it, I don't think. So yeah, so tomorrow we're going to talk about Aquaman, which is one of the, they don't totally fix the jokes in Aquaman. I think there's still a bit too many, but damn, that movie is hella good with action. I think the jokes, however, get balanced out in Shazam and Birds of Prey. So until tomorrow, when we talk about Aquaman, I am Luke, and I will see you guys later. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed what you just watched. If you're interested in more of my videos, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notifications every time I upload a video. And also, if you could, just leave a like down below and maybe even consider commenting, telling me things I did good, things I did bad.